People ask you to have some me time, and that's good advice honestly. Talking to yourself is the best me time activity that you can do. Here's why. Every time I get some free time, here's what I would do. I would start walking around the house randomly thinking thoughts in my head. I will debate with me, I will ask questions to me, and I'll dissect the answers as well. To a regular person, this would look crazy and they would want to send me to an asylum. But it's these conversations with self that have made me into the person that I am today. And I am proud of what I am today. So yeah, you can treat this like a real skill. You can actually train yourself to talk to yourself. But let's be honest, everyone does talk to themselves. How? You know that little voice inside your head telling you to do things? That's basically you kind of conversating with yourself. But then if everyone can do it naturally without any extra effort, why did I call it a skill? You see, everyone talks with themselves normally. But if you train this, you can talk with yourself to dissect thoughts, generate new ideas, and actually kind of act as a therapy session for yourself. You see, the regular thoughts inside your head move really fast. Like, at least for me, the thoughts become kind of useless because at the speed at which they're coming in. And most of these automatic thoughts are extremely unstructured because of the sheer speed of them. They just come and go whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I can't really read them or describe them. So I found out that whenever I speak out these thoughts, like verbally, these thoughts slow down because of course there's a physical limitation now on the thoughts. And now I can finally dissect these thoughts and read them and understand what I am trying to say to myself. And so this is how I actually process new data. I read a new book, I watch a new video, inspires me, really nice. Then I actually sit with myself and talk around for like half an hour, trying to understand how the knowledge applies to my life. This is how I've come up with the best insights that help me every single day. So basically, whenever I speak things out, these thoughts slow down just enough for me to structure them for my brain to understand. I know a bunch of my friends, they are good with journaling. They want to write things down on paper, and that slows things down further. So whenever it's some complex ideas, or whenever it's something that I can't really think about, or whenever I can't stop my overthinking, I just keep thinking about one thing again and again and again, I don't know why, I usually will journal it down if it's a complex sort of an idea. That helps me structure ideas much better. When it comes to actually talking to yourself, most people will actually never do it. You're just going to watch this video, you're not going to take any action. Your attention span's telling you to click off this video already. You have a very bad attention span. Most people will actually not take any action. They will not start talking to themselves or even try talking to themselves due to the sheer fact that they are scared that what if someone watches me or catches me do it. The thing is, in your head, it's like a crime. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be, liked and stuff. And so we don't want to seem like a mad person to society. We don't want them to insult us. And so we are very afraid that what if someone catches me talking to myself? Am I going to be called mad by them? The thing is, first of all, it shouldn't matter to you who looks at you or who doesn't. It's not a crime to talk to yourself. It's nothing wrong. You're just talking to yourself. A lot of the successful people actually talk to themselves. They actually take this to the next level. They stand in front of the mirror and then they talk to themselves. And the thing is, if you adopt the habits of successful people, you will win. You will become successful. You have a high chance of becoming successful. And so that's why in the first place I adopted this practice. And the second thing is, just talk to yourself when there's nobody around. There's always times in the day when you are alone. In the washroom when you're taking a shower, in the house when you're just watching a movie. Just pause the movie. There's no one around you. The movie has given you a great insight. Just walk around for some time and then think about it. And when you think about it, you will finally understand that this insight is not just a sentence. It's not just a phrase, a dialogue. It's something that you can use in your life. And that is what you need to do after each time you read a book or you watch a movie or something that inspires you. Now once you cross this barrier, once you cross this psychological barrier that, okay, well, I'm not afraid of people watching me and they won't be able to watch me because I talk to myself when I'm alone. Fine, here's the benefits of talking to yourself. First, it would be clarity. These days, everyone seems to be really cooped up about overthinking. And in these situations, usually what I would do is I would take out my journal and start writing in it, because when you are in an overthinking sort of a stage, you can't really tell what you're thinking about. And so when you are overthinking, what I would suggest is you open your journal and make a list of the things that you haven't done, or the things that are pending, or things that you are expecting. Basically, the things that could make you overthink. And usually, for me at least, it's just like 4 or 5 things which are kind of insignificant as well, which make me overthink a lot of the time. And once you know which 5 things are the targets which are making you overthink, think about them. Just talk to yourself about them, that are they even important? Ask yourself questions, right? Ask yourself questions like, are they even important? What if I just throw that thing away right now? Will it affect my life in any way? And when you ask these kind of deep questions to yourself, somehow the answers will actually come up inside your own head. And when you speak to yourself, you will finally gain clarity that, okay, these 5 things don't even matter. Among these 5 things, this one thing is kind of important, so I need to put more focus on that. And then these 4 things kind of are insignificant, so on and so forth. And this will clear the fog of blurry overthinking. Second would be emotional regulation. And this is really important because people feel all these emotional incidents, these shocks kind of all the time. And ever been rejected, ever been like embarrassed, or had an awkward moment in public, it will actually make you cringe at yourself for years to come. Like you're just chilling and randomly this thought, this flash of that one fumble that you did 3 years ago just comes in your head and you start cringing at yourself. So here's the practice that I would do after facing such situations. First thing is, I would get into a comfortable zone. People aren't watching me, so I'm not getting further embarrassed. Then I talk to myself about this exact thought, this exact situations. I ask myself questions like, is this even important? Could I have avoided this? What do I learn from this experience? Self-talk in these cases actually really help you, because it feels like you are patting yourself on the back and comforting yourself, which helps you cope with this embarrassing or whatever thought. Now please note this, because this is important. Self-talk helps, no doubt about it, but asking out for help is equally important. Because unless you have other people look at your situation, you will not gain new insights. There will be no new data in the situation, so you will not be able to generate new thoughts which will actually help you cope better. And the thing is, obviously asking yourself, talking with yourself is really important, because it's you who watches you 24/7, and so you know what exactly happened. You know all the little embarrassing details about yourself, about the situation, about the other person, whatever. And so it's you who has the deepest insights, who has the deepest knowledge about the situation, and it's you who will be able to help at the deeper level. Third would be idea generation, kind of selfish, but it works across niches. All the ideas, scripts, arts and stuff, whatever I do for this channel and whatever I do beyond this channel in my real life, all of it comes from my head, right? All the ideas and everything. I don't use AI or stuff because I've tried them. It's stupid. And definitely I will learn about something new. I will have some conversations with other people, and then I'll get some new thoughts. I'll listen to a new podcast and I'll get new data, new insights, left, right, and center all the time, right? And when I process these thoughts, that's when these quotes, insights, little paragraphs which I can explain, these YouTube scripts, that's when these things come up, because I'm actively thinking about the thought and it's no longer in the abstract sense. It's now in the textual format, which is easier for me to explain and understand. Heck, technically right now I am talking to myself here, because in this room there's literally no one. It's just me and the camera, just debating myself in my head for long enough about one certain idea and the depth of the idea. And like I ask myself questions repeatedly based on the idea. Just debating myself is what gets these videos made. The fourth thing would be skill development, and this is something that I feel regularly. The speaking skills that I have in this video are not the best, definitely, but they are really, when you compare it to my first 2 or 3 videos, it's way better than that. Now I have made around 23 I guess long videos where I'm actually speaking to the camera, and I don't think it's possible to have this jump in just 23 videos. Then how have I improved? I talk to myself. I sometimes will just have an idea and just think about it to myself, or after writing the script, I'll read the script out and then think about the script myself. And whenever I'm thinking, I'll see that, okay, there's there's that word that needs to be replaced in order for the sentence to sound cooler, or there's a way in which we can summarize this paragraph in one sentence. And whenever I'm thinking, I can make my ideas sound more concise, sound more to the point, straight to the point, and much more digestible to the audience. I dump down certain words to make the knowledge much more understandable. Just speaking to myself, analyzing the way I speak, analyzing the things that I speak, replacing certain words to make them sound better. This acts as practice for me. The way that I can structure my thoughts right now while speaking or while doing anything is much faster, much accurate, much concise than what I used to be able to do before. So this might not look like practice. I'm not physically standing behind the mic and then just speaking things out. It's not literal practice. This will not look like practice, but it definitely feels like practice to me because it does help me improve my speaking skills and writing skills as well. And the thing is, this works across niches. Chess players will always think about chess even when they're not playing. They will think about different moves, different combinations, different gambits. They'll keep thinking about that, and same with every single sport. And I think just thinking about it is quite a good enough practice because it's your brain that stores all the data. You can't play as many games as you want in a day, and so it's always good to think, because when you're on the go you can't play chess, when you're in the bus you can't play football, and so in your head you're thinking that, okay, this is what I'm gonna do in this situation, this is what I'm gonna do in that situation. And then when you come up with all these thoughts, it kind of acts like practice, because in your head you are going through multiple different simulations automatically when you're thinking about the sport, whatever it is, and based on those different simulations you come up with different solutions, which without you knowing come to effect when you are actually in the playing field. These are all the benefits that I have felt, and if there are any more which you have felt, please comment down below. We are so fixated on trying to impress people, trying to get their attention, trying to make them happy, other people, that we actually forget ourselves. And sure, making friends, networking, gathering connections, it's really, really important. Don't get me wrong here. But the thing is, having a connection with yourself is also very, very important. And we skip that. The reality is we spend the most of the time with ourselves. We are in our own body, and 24/7 we are spending time with us. And if we don't have a connection with ourselves, if we don't accept ourselves, if we don't have a conversation with ourselves, we can't make this connection with ourselves. And wherever there's no connection, there's always mishap happening. There's no coordination. And that's why you feel sad, you feel anxious, you feel depressed. So talk to yourself. Really, really try and understand the fabric of your mind. And try and connect with yourself.